Want to. Oh, dude, real quick. We're live. Oops. There. Sorry, dude. So my friend, I work with at work, obviously, he has to volunteer at the he has to volunteer at the game, like the Seahawks game today, and usually they give us like tickets to go, like after we volunteer and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And he goes, dude, my buddy backed out of helping me. Do you want to go with me? And I was like, do you get free tickets? And he's like, no. I go, absolutely not. I do not want to go
Yeah.
in the winter cold to a Seahawks game. I'm sorry, man. But
Well, that was like, what was it? Last minute, I got offered tickets to go to the Husky Utah game yesterday. They're like $200 a ticket, and I'm like, yeah, no, dude, I'm good.
Like, it was so windy this weekend. Holy crap, dude! Well, it was like ridiculous.
I already spent like $250 on my Apple Cup ticket, so I was like, I'm good, man. I was like, that's
you
in a couple
$250 on the Apple Cup.
It's like 7 rows back from the.
Why?
I don't know. Oh. This is what the tickets cost down there.
I mean, like, why that game?
Oh, because probably it's the last official Apple Cup.
Dude, do you get like an actual ticket stub?
I think so. I'll probably keep it.
Keep it. Yeah, dude, keep it, man.
I'm gonna bring like hard packaging that I can just put it in so it doesn't get damaged. Be like, whoa. I was like, don't fold my ticket. Don't rip that shit.
Make sure you like fold it before you rip
that shit. Yeah, the people that are with me will be like, what are you doing? Be like, you don't know what this might be worth later, man.
No, seriously though, like, well, obviously, like on Vinny's chat, Vinny's like the ticket dude, right? On our 5 Ronin crew on Thursdays. If you guys aren't watching, check us out. It's the OTR Reloaded, basically. Yeah, so he's been picking up like Wembenyama tickets and stuff, and like Tiger's first like PGA Tour like game ever, just random stuff like that. And he was saying like the price he paid, it would probably have been cheaper just to fly out to San Antonio and like wait outside the gates and be like, hey, can I have your ticket after the game? You imagine how many you could just like there's probably not that many people that have like actual stubs from games anymore, because like I don't remember last time I had a stub, but like I gotta imagine there's like a few, and then who's like keeping their stubs after the game, you know what I mean?
I've got concert ticket stubs that I've got like stacks of them from like just
random stuff
all the way back. But
do you have any good ones?
I found my first concert ticket ever from like when I was 11, which was 9 Inch Nails opening for David Bowie at the Tacoma Dome back in like 93, I think it was.
That'd be pretty good, because they opened. They weren't the primary.
Yeah, I mean, that was still right when 9 Inch Nails was like kind of becoming a thing.
Who did they open for again?
David Bowie.
That's pretty tight.
That's a random show. I'm like, I saw that ticket and I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I do remember that. I'm like, thinking back, like as a kid, you're going to the show, you're just like, whatever, dude. Like people come together. Yeah. It's like your first concert. Like this is just how it is. Then you look back on it, you're like, that was a pretty weird fucking lineup, man. like that's like they're similar, but like way on the opposite sides.
We're doing good, Wade. We're doing good. Yeah, man, good stuff, man. Yeah, we're just kind of chit-chatting here a little bit. Happy Sunday, everyone. My team's getting obliterated right now.
Dude, my fantasy updates have never gone off this much in the first like 5 minutes of a game.
Seriously.
I keep looking down. It's like so-and-so scored a touchdown. This person scored a touchdown. Joe Burrow throw a touchdown. Like your defense got a touchdown. I was like, dude.
Oh yeah, Burrow.
Yeah. Well, dude, like fantasy has just been very frustrating for me this year. I'm like 3 and 5 in one league and like 1 and whatever the hell the other side of it is in the other league. But it's like I have the 3rd most points for in the league in that freaking league, but I also have the most against me because it's just like every week I play somebody who just like goes off for some reason.
Yeah, I know. My niece is kicking my ass right now. In other news.
That you could have kept that one to yourself, man. That's not.
No, man. I'm not prideful, man. I'm not prideful. Good for her. Dude. So Loki season 2 ended this past week.
Oh my god.
I have not. So I was kind of, I wouldn't say like boycotting them, but like I was pissed off about the increase in the subscriptions or whatever. So I canceled my Disney Plus account. However, for some reason we still get it, and I just totally forgot. I'm on episode 4, I think. But dude, how
you already watched 4, or you're like going in?
I think it's the whatever episode was after they go. I'm pretty sure. No, I think I'm on episode 4, so I'm halfway through.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because they did 6.
Yeah, so there's only 6 episodes, correct?
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like. That's the one major disappointment that I have with Marvel. It's like even Netflix and stuff, their seasons when they do them are like 8 to 10 episodes. Marvel's always like they make you wait like a full year and then they drop 6 episodes and they're not even consistent with the time. They're like one might be 37 minutes, the other one will be 42.
Yeah,
it just hops all over. I'm like, dude, why don't you guys just have a set, like just do hour-long episodes and be done with it, like 55 minutes plus your run credits, like.
Yeah, do you think it's because like the notion that it's an extended movie, quote unquote?
Yeah, I think they get away with it by calling it that.
I still think it's annoying, and like, you know, in this like time of like short attention spans and like, dude, freaking like Lost was like 24 episodes, like 1 year, you know. And yeah, I mean, E2 Comic Collector, welcome to the show. Yeah, it just seems like quality over quantity lately. I guess there's a lot of quantity out there too, right? But
yeah, but personally, like I think that I say that only because like I really liked like Loki.
Right, you want to keep a good thing going.
From the first launches of their shows, Loki was always one of my favorites. The first season, like that they did out of all their shows, but like this season, and it's like it's not even because of the attachments to like comics or spec or anything like that that's driving my love of the show. It's all the characters. Like it's just so well done. Like I find myself, even when there's not much going on, just visually drawn to, like, I'm just captivated by it. Like just I want to sit and watch it. There's no other distractions. Like I never look at my phone when it's on. Like it's just crazy how much it draws you in.
Yeah, no, like I agree with you. I think you know, this past week I brought it up and I'm bringing it up again, you know, for today's viewers, but I feel like this is the most enjoyable show I've watched out of the Marvels since who's the guy? Falcon Winter Soldier. That was my favorite MCU show since then. Rewatched a few times. I think I'm gonna rewatch this one too, but yeah, or Loki. Sorry, I'm not talking. I don't have Loki anymore. You asked me if I want to watch this yesterday. What made you want to see this movie? Because it seems like no one else wanted to. Pure curiosity.
I've heard both good and bad, like, but I feel like the good stuff outweighs it. People are just kind of like, the villain sucks, but like, hey, we're used to that for basically it's like we're used to that now. Like you take villains and basically just like throw them in the garbage now.
Yeah.
But like everything else I've heard about it said that it was really well done. Like it did a good job filling in backstory holes for Monica and Carol and kind of all those characters. From what I mean, granted, this is all stuff I've heard, not because I haven't seen the movie yet. I heard the end credit scene. There's one, and it's supposed to kind of shift the MCU a little bit. Like a lot of people were just like, whoa, okay, cool. And I heard that the chemistry between them was all really well done. So, I mean, at this point, I stopped because they had such a point where there was like really, really good like overall movies within Marvel. I think it kind of like gave people unrealistic expectations. Like it was just supposed to keep going up there.
Yeah.
And now I'm just kind of I just go into the movies with a grain of salt, expecting to have a good time, and if I get that out of it, like I'm good with it.
Yeah. No. I've heard mixed reviews too. I mean, the box office. I think everyone going into it, you know, not everyone's a fan of Brie Larson, which I get why. You know, the character itself isn't really like, oh man, I wish they made a movie out of her either. So maybe there's that. I think the villain has a huge, you know, effect on, especially if the character's not really well thought of. You know, if the villain isn't, you know, if the main focus villain isn't up to speed either, or no one really knows who they are, that also, you know, has an effect on people going out and watching it the first time.
Well, and plus it's just like all they did was bring in like a female Ronin, essentially.
Yeah, it's like so, you know, comic book fans are
same weapon.
Yeah, exactly. And like he's like kind of there. Yeah, and that's the stuff like it's annoying. Like the one thing I hated about the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie was like, cool, we're getting a new villain. Oh wait, no, we're not. We're just getting like pissed off, like continuation of Scarlet Witch. Now, if she was to turn into like, you know, Scarlet Witch Sorceress Supreme or something crazy like that, and then move into another like, you know, show, that'd be cool. But that just didn't happen. And then like, you know, like I don't understand what if you're gonna have if you're gonna have the movies like relate to each movie, right, in the Marvel MCU versus like standalone in DC, you have to have like good characters that are within the comic books as well, because that's where your source material is coming from. And I think just like, you know, what Marvel's been doing lately is like they're trying to adhere to too many like different groups, whereas opposed to like if you just really stick to the script of like the comic books, the hard part is like done already. And then I don't know if it's like egos, like having to go through like, oh, I have to have my touch on the MCU or like this movie I'm making, whatever. I just think it's like that's what's really annoying, in my opinion. But yeah, it's just dumb. What's up, Trev? Y'all, I'm sure you all follow Trev, the shipping guru. He's the man. He's got like I think he surpassed 2,000, but he does a Sunday night late show. It's kind of like my kind of like relaxation until like going to a week. But go give him a follow and all that good stuff. So, yeah, you know, like going into the holiday season, like wondering like what kind of what movies to watch. I always watch The Godfather during the holidays because there's like that scene where they're like, "Oh, okay, I love you," and then like, Tom Hagen gets kidnapped during the holidays, and he has like a sled in his hand. Whatever. Anyway, what's your favorite holiday movie, dude? Horror. Oh, wait. I mean, non like Christmas holiday movie. If that makes sense.
Non-Christmas holiday movie.
Yeah, like non like specific. Like Home Alone is definitely like a Christmas movie, right? Like, what's your like a Gremlins or something like that? Like, I don't know. Just kidding.
I would throw it on. See, and it's like there's certain movies that I would watch that, like I watch. Like I wouldn't consider it a Christmas movie, but like ever since it came out, I've watched Krampus like every year.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
But I also like I think at the top of that list would be the most disputed movie of all time, Die Hard.
Yeah,
because I will watch that every year. But like I'm one of the people that don't consider it a Christmas movie. It's just an action Bruce Willis movie that happens to take place at Christmas.
Right.
Like, that's all it is. That's always up on that list. Same with Gremlins too.
Yeah.
Like I will watch Gremlins, and it's like it happens at the holidays. But yeah,
Trev also says Die Hard. Yes, I think I think everyone in the chat is Die Hard.
Like I watch that every year just because people consider it to be a Christmas movie. But I'm like,
yes, sir. Yeah. And just an FYI, thanks everyone for coming through. We got 12 live, 13 minutes into it. I really appreciate everyone coming through on a Sunday for us, watching us two idiots talk about comic books for an hour or so. We'll get Fedora Con here in the next 20, but just an FYI, I will do a giveaway regardless. But if we get 25, I found this book at one of our favorite comic book shops in Linwood this weekend. I got for cover price. It needs a press, so which is why I'm kind of manhandling this book. But yeah, I found it for cover. It's the hot book for the past couple weeks. One FOC person didn't call it out though. It's weird. Anyway, yeah. So our boy Fedora did call this out a couple weeks ago. Not necessarily FOC, but it was in the Discord. If you guys are not in the Discord, come join us, man. I mean, you know, there's a lot of good stuff in there that is not just comic book related, obviously. If you're into NFTs, if you're into magazines, all the other stuff, come join the Discord. We may do giveaways in Discord as well, just to get people to join. But I talk a lot of shit about Pickles in here. He has no idea because he's not in the Discord. I call him out all the time. There's a lot of like inside jokes about Pickles.
Oh, so you're telling me that I need to come back on there and start making a list, huh? Yeah. People I am going to kill. Yeah. It's like right at the top is just Ferdy in bold letters.
It's all my different aliases. Like, whatever.
It's just anyway, like nobody else is just him.
Yeah, it's just me. So yeah, join the Discord, man. It's free to sign up. It's a little bit of like a technological like thing to get used to. Like I was very anti it in December of last year, but ever since then, man, it's one of my top apps. I probably go into it all the time. And it's just a pretty good community. Like we try to keep it pretty like loose and like, whatever. I don't think we'll ever kick anybody out, but keep it pretty like chill. But yeah, a lot of good information in there. 78's just always posting a lot of his toy pictures and all that stuff. And like I said, like talk a lot of shit about Jason, and he has no idea how we do it. So anyway.
Won't ever be kicked out, huh? Challenge accepted.
Anyway, and yeah, Kingdom of Nerds, thanks for coming through. If you guys aren't following Kingdom of Nerds, he does a show on Mondays and I believe Friday. So give him a shout out, give him a follow, and check out his stuff. But without further ado, let's get into the show. I did not show this to Jason at all because I just like doing that to him. So what we're talking about here, I know I've been pretty like, and I say this a lot. I've been pretty cautious about, buying books. Jason, you have definitely like pared back on your spending on comic books for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I've spent more than like $100 like collectively in like the last month or two on books. I haven't bought any new books. Like I've fallen way behind on the stuff that I was reading. I just haven't been able to make it to a store either. So
yeah, and like the Wednesday Warrior is definitely like on a hiatus for sure. I'm not gonna even talk about Whatnot because it's kind of a different entity, but like you could talk about like specifically it's just economy, and I think a lot of people have like obviously like fatigue over prices going down. I've liquidated a lot of stuff that I just don't think is ever gonna like come back. We got some good peeps in the show. What up, Jeff? Thanks for coming through. Our boy Matrix Comics, always posting the shits, man. Glad to have you in here, man. So happy to see you. The Yankees are not getting Shohei Ohtani. He's ours. We're getting him next week. You heard it here first.
For some reason, I thought he was like way older than he was.
Yeah, dude, because he's like a boss, right? Oh my god, I can't believe I just said that. What's up? What's up, dog? What's up, Fedora? Fedora's on the streets. Yeah, Fedora, let's do that Pokemon show next week. Is that cool? I just don't got enough time today.
No, it's fine. I kind of figured that would be the case, which is why I asked.
No, I appreciate you, dog.
Of course.
What's up, Joe? What's going on? Whatnot is the devil, man. I actually deleted the app after all that bullshit, man.
The only thing, like, the one thing that sucks is like there are I guess for me, one seller that like exclusively sells on there that I actually like, and they sell good books and stuff like that. So it's like hard. Like I haven't bought anything off of there, but I don't like go on it really at all, other than if they have a show and I'll just like watch.
Yeah, and
usually they do some pretty big books, and so it's just like, all right, if I can get something at a good deal.
Yeah.
Whatnot was cool, but it was just executed so poorly.
Yeah, and I think like a lot of people obviously like the people that are gonna make it well and Whatnot. It's like it's like any client based kind of like job, right? If you have a good client base and you treat them well, it's a good app. But for like the little guy that only has like 1,000 or under, it's probably tough to sell comic books at this time. But like if you're like an investor, if you're trying to like, how am I saying investor? If you're like a collector that's trying to find good deals, yeah, I think I agree with Kingdom of Nerds. You can find some pretty good deals on stuff there. But what I was curious about is like, so I'm sure Fedora and Pickles, you guys have like your top 25 watch list comics that you have on eBay or just in general, right? And
not really. No.
Okay, well, I guess Fedora does it. Okay, never mind. Pickles, I'm sure you do. Like, I know you're always looking out for like some of the books I will list off today. And I do as well. What I found in this list today is that basically like there's a lot of books that are actually holding value, which is good because it means that these are your quote unquote blue chip holdings, or like there's people that don't want to sell them, and if they do, they have like a pretty high price that they want to let them go, and that the buyers that are seeking these comic books are like, yeah, I've been looking for this book for like the past 4 months. I'm afraid that the economy is going to get better. I'm going to miss my window of opportunity. And so those buyers and sellers are coming to like an agreement, but it's like still pretty high. We're not 2021, early 2022 prices, but it's more so 2019, beginning of 2020 before the pandemic prices of these books. But I hope you guys enjoy these books. This is just recent like sales of the past like 2 weeks. So take it with a grain of salt, and hope this helps you guys out. Book number 1, Punisher 218. Now, this, I did not see the trailer for Dead Boy Detectives, but I heard about it. Good stuff, man. Punisher 218, there's a multiple variants of this book. The main thing I think initially in the pandemic was like his first appearance of War Machine, Punisher, and he was going to come to the MCU and kill everybody and all that stuff. And then that shit kind of died down.
I wish. There's a lot of potential with that.
There's a lot of potential for sure. For me, man, I just thought it was a tight ass Clayton Crane variant. I did get this signed by Clayton Crane with the Infinity autograph. Yeah, give me shit about it. I think it's cool. But this book, which I glanced over many times, is still holding pretty high. Now, I know, again, like during 2022, this was like $800 and 9.8, but this hasn't really dipped since then. Raws are still going for like 150 to 250. So if you're on the hunt for this, I mean, it's kind of hard to get a really good, great buy on this. I'm assuming that people are buying this because of the fanfare with Johnny Bernthal, the continuation of him being in the MCU, and then just, overall fans that just like him from The Walking Dead, or my favorite Johnny Bernthal movie, Wolf of Wall Street. He's fucking hilarious in that movie. If you guys haven't seen it.
You were going to say Ford v Ferrari.
I don't know. And see, one of our mainstays, Doc Joe, man. I mean, he's got some great books, and he's on the hunt for this. So that's a big, that's a big indicator in my opinion, for sure.
I would assume people are like holding on to this for like if he ever does like a signing or some shit.
Yeah.
I think that makes the most sense. I've never seen this book. Well, actually, I've seen it once in Queens, in a local comic shop in Queens, and it was priced at like $500 or something crazy like that.
Yeah, see, it's like people don't want to give up on this book because
it was raw too. It was raw. It wasn't even graded. This was like during the pandemic though. So.
I mean, dude, the 150 to 250 for a raw book on eBay, like that's a lot too. You know what I mean?
It is. So, no, I agree.
And I think like he hits cross fan bases, right? He hits obviously the Walking Dead, and he's just a great actor, and I think he has like a pretty good following and all that good stuff. Oh, there you go. Jason, is this like on one of your like lookouts, or like, are you a big photo fan variant? I'm personally not, but I'm just curious if you are.
There was a copy of this that I had seen on eBay that was signed by Barenthal that I was
really
tracking,
that's crazy.
I guess, for a little bit just to see what it did. It was like way too. I mean, I think at that point it was at like somewhere between $2,500 and $5,000 is what they were asking, I think, or something like that. But I don't remember. This was like a while back. It was the only copy that I'd seen with him signed. Because I saw it and I was like, I knew it was a Clayton Crane thing, so I was like, I thought he had signed it. I was like, God damn, dude! Like people were paying that much for a Clayton Crane autograph, and then when I got in and looked at the description, it's like, signed by Barenthal, and I was like, ooh.
Does he even do a lot of signings? Doesn't seem like he does.
I don't know. I never see him at anything.
I've seen him take pictures with people at like cons, but like not locally. Like
maybe like Galaxy Con or something like that.
Yeah.
I could see him doing one of those.
I mean, Freddie Prinze Jr. came to Seattle Comic Con last year. Or
he's
Emerald
probably
City.
like one of those like huge, like he's probably like, not that he's like a guy that thinks he's better than everybody, but he's just probably like too huge to like even need the money to like sign his autograph.
And he's probably too busy.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Doing movies, like to sit in like a booth for like 10 hours signing autographs.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, that's kind of beneath him, in my opinion.
Well,
no offense to the people that do it.
I feel like I would ask if I was like paying somebody like that to like get like people that are like super famous, like, hey, I know that you make like $20 million a movie or something like that. Like, say you wanted to get Chris Pratt to sign your Guardians of the Galaxy or something like that. I've always wanted to just ask him, be like, hey, so like, who does this money fee actually go to? Because I was like, I know you don't need it, so who the hell is charging me this fee? Like, I'm just curious where.
And then he goes,
like, I'm still gonna
get out.
Yeah. He'll be like, I'll still pay it, but it's just like you can't be
it's like 150, like a signature, like 200.
Sometimes it's more, dude. Yeah.
And it's just like, is that? I feel like those are actually just like they do that and not get any money off of it. That just pays their publicists and stuff like that. All that money goes to the people that just put it on.
Maybe, man. Donnie Cates. I don't know why I said that. This one, this was kind of weird to me. Like, so Strange Academy 13, first appearance of, I forgot the dude's name, but he looks like something out of Harry Potter. But it's like the main antagonist who sells drugs basically to Strange Academy kids to have their powers grow up. So the raws for this book, and this is the Adam Hughes variant specifically, the raws for this that I found were going for like 20 to 25, and this was auction, which I think is pretty high for this book, because that's how much it was kind of going for out the gate when it first came in. Gaslamp, there you go.
Wait, there's a ratio?
No, it's not a ratio. I think it was like open order. I remember when this book came out, it was like hot out the gate off FLC. But yeah, it was like
how this?
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I mean, like it's Hughes variant, dude. And like, I mean, you know the collectors that buy this shit. And it's the first appearance of Gaslamp. Thank you, ET Comic Collector. What were you gonna say, Fedora?
I have a copy of that, and the other one, I don't understand.
The other one's like all right, but this is it's Adam Hughes. I mean, he's got titties on the front. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, but it don't even got the character on it. It don't even got gas.
Hughes. It's Hughes, dude. It's Hughes.
I love Adam Hughes. I love him, but
evidently you don't love him on Strange Academy because no, I'm just playing.
Well, it's weird because I think
Art Adams, my fault. I don't know why I'm saying Hughes.
Well, I think Gaslamp's cover is like later on.
It's like
gets one, but it's like I remember because I have this whole run in the Hughes variants.
Yeah, me too.
And like they're all like just one character per cover.
You know what's so crazy? I finally realized why I didn't like this cover, because it's Art Adams. This is it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Art Adams. My bad.
No, yeah. So Art Adams, like all the faces he draws, looks the same to me. So like I don't know. So when I immediately saw it, I was like really confused. It's like Adam Hughes. Mm-hmm. Why the face looks like that?
Right.
It's, but yeah.
No,
I'm not. I just can't get behind Arthur Adams. I don't know what it is. Like every face that he's drawn, it was this one. What's the Psylocke one he did? The Mary Jane one and the Black Cat one. They all look the same to me.
Yeah.
Whatever, but continue.
No, I mean, I kind of the same thing with Scotty Young. I mean, like some of his stuff's cool, but like I'm not really into that type of art. That's just me though. But what were you gonna say, Jason?
Oh, I was gonna say like there's only a couple of the cover because they are so just like character centric and the character's like huge. There's not a lot of detail in it and stuff like that. There's only a couple of them that stand out to me. Like I really dig his book 1 cover, and I dig the one with Dormammu on it. Mm-hmm. Doyle. I like that cover.
Yeah.
And there's a couple, but like, see some of the other covers that don't get all the hype because they're not the first appearances. They're not this or that. They just get kind of overlooked. And there's like a couple other really cool covers throughout the run. I'd have to like flip through them again, remember exactly what numbers they are, but there are like better covers. It's just these ones. These ones get the hype because it's like first Gaslamp, and then the other one is like the first of like pretty much everybody else. And
right. I mean, and this one just had like the combination of like, so Gaslamp's on the last page. He's like full last page, and they call it a cameo. I consider it a first appearance just from a reader standpoint, because he's like full on page on the last page. But this one got a lot of heat because of the Arthur Adams. Sorry, not Hughes. Heat. So back to what I was saying. So raws are going for $20 to $25. However, a 9.8 sale went for $68, and that was at auction. So I mean, you might as
That's
well.
a deal. That's a deal. If you're an Art Adams fan,
if you're on the hunt for this, you might as well pay the extra grading fee to get a 9.8. I thought that was a little bit of arbitrage opportunity in there. Just kind of some data that I thought was pressing.
I like that Game Informer magazine he did.
Yeah.
That's a
Game
nice
Informer,
one.
man. Game Informer is pretty good stuff, but yeah.
And that's like his earliest work. So you get that. You can find a nice little crisp copy. You could probably get him to sign it because you could probably freaking find this guy in like Abunga or whatever, somewhere in some freaking, some like some Comic-Con in local town somewhere. You just get him to sign
it. Insert Northern County like down or whatever. Yeah.
And then you get the magazine graded 9.8. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. $100.
Nice, good stuff. All right, on to the next one. So NYX3, I mean, this is always on my list. I had a 9.6 and I'm a 9.8 snob, and I sold it because I just want to make the quick buck. I did pretty well on that that flip, so that I'm not too upset about it. But this book was at like 2K at one point during the pandemic. But it's
wait, that's what the Raw is going for right now?
No. Right now, yeah, like 150 to 200 to 250.
Wait, this is a second print or the first print?
No, this is the first print.
What the?
Yeah. So 9.8s are still going for like over 1,000. It dipped down to like 1,000 and since backed up. And of course, Doc Joe has multiple 9.8s. I mean, that foresight on this book is like ridiculous. I'm very jealous. And Fedora does think Art Adams is a mook. Yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, raws are going from 150 to 200. However, I couldn't tell the grade on those raws, but I remember at one point they dipped all the way down to like 120. And so they're bumping up a little bit. I think people prefer the higher grade, obviously, and they are willing to pay that premium for 1,100 because, like, I think of it this way. If you buy like a raw for 200 and it goes down, it's a 9.4, those only sell for like 240 to 280.
Yeah, but so any grade in this book is good, man.
Yeah. So if you're that 9.8 guy and you're not wanting to risk a press and submit, all that stuff, you might as well go for like the over 1,000 price. Now, I don't know what's pushing this book other than like the Modern Grail spec. And then, the Deadpool stuff, I guess, quote unquote. I just think this is an awesome book to have in anyone's collection if you're a collector, an actual reader of comic books. Jason, I ask you first, have you ever thought about buying this book regardless of your money? And is it like when you see it on a Whatnot auction for like $1, are you just like all over it? Or like you're just like, doesn't really.
I'll bid it up to a point.
Yeah.
Like it's on my watch list of something that I'm trying to come into, but it's just like I've been waiting for it to dip a little bit more and it hasn't. But at the same time, like I guess you can't like really expect that either. I think we're getting to a point now where people just keep expecting books to like go further and further down or something like that. Like wishing it into existence is going to make it happen or something.
Yeah.
But it's just like maybe it's time to start realizing that shit already hit bottom and it might be going back up.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Fedora?
Oh, I've only ever seen it once in Midtown Comics, but this was during like the pandemic, and that's when prices didn't really make any sense. Sure. So it stood there for a really, really long time. I don't see it anymore. Yeah. So I'm assuming, they got their head cracked. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I like the book. I mean, just to own it, like I don't even think I would grade it. I would just buy it just to say I have it. For $150, $200, you get like a really popular modern character.
Yeah,
why not, man? That could possibly cross over into mainstream appeal. I know Logan was like really big for X-23, but I didn't feel like it pushed her into like the stratosphere where she needed to get to. Mm-hmm. So I think they have another chance to put the MCU behind her. And I think if you could buy it for $150 now, mm-hmm. I think that would be good long term. Just to have it, pass it down, keep it, whatever. It's a good book.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about this book all the time, and it's annoying to people that watch the show, but I freaking love this book, man. I wish I could have it again. I do have it. Never mind. Just kidding. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, my thing is too is just like I wouldn't even like I would want like I want to own the book. I'd like to have it in a high grade just because, but it's like it's not one of those books that me personally I would have like displayed all the time and whatnot. Like I would own it just for the significance of the book.
Yeah.
But like that cover is just so depressing to me every time I look at it.
It really is.
I don't think I could throw it on a wall because I'd always be drawn to that and be like,
I mean, I can feel the like the temperature like in this it's honestly like the perfect cover to me.
Like it's a cover that just makes you feel miserable.
Yeah.
but like in a good way, I guess.
And like the point of view is like perfect for like what this story is telling. And I think it's like one of my top five. It's one of my top 5 modern stories to read because I've read the paperback of this over and over again. Real quick before I go to the next one, we're at 35 minutes into the show, 15 live. Now, if we get 25, I'm going to give away this amazing Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees comic book. Found this at a store in Linwood this past week. Fedora called this out way before anyone else did.
I just thought it was a good book. I thought it was a good read.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't do that around here. We don't call out we're the first to first or whatever. But I definitely heard it from him first before anyone else. So yeah, just
I might have mentioned that it was on. I might have mentioned that it was like a good read on the show a few weeks back. Matrix. But yeah.
I think it was the show. It's a good read. One of the Halloween ones.
Yeah. There you go. I think so too. But it was good. It's a good read. Like, and I feel like you guys are so focused on like FOC and like what's final order cut up. You're not reading your books. You got to read. Like once you start reading, you're gonna see like, oh, this is really good. Then you're gonna go on the little CBS side. You're gonna be like, huh, I own this because I read it. You know what I'm saying? So stop. Forget the FOC. Forget the speculation. Like the speculation is reading the books. Just read it. Just go to your shop. Look around. Look at go through the books. Like stop chasing these first appearances.
I would say about FOC, and this is Ultra Maximix. Shout out to Ultra. His FOC is great because he just goes through what like he thinks is like good books to read and not necessarily speculate on, but like here, this is the first appearance of so ever, and this is the story behind it. And then here's the 1 in 25, here's the 1 in 50 if you're looking for it. Versus like a list where it's top 20, 10, 50, 700. Buy these books and then flip them to pay for the hobby. That's where you get in trouble.
No, right? Yeah, for sure.
But you have to have your own assertion to whether like okay, if this person's doing an FOC list, whoever that may be, and they're talking about what's within it versus like recommending it, I think that's where you can get an advantage over FOC. But you're right, man. Like you still have to read the book because like there's so many like FOC books that like I used to like buy 2 or 3 copies of, and I read the first one. I was like, oh, this is a mistake. This is stupid. But there's other ones that I'm like, oh, this is an awesome like book. I wish I would have got 5 more. Yeah. You know, that kind of thing. So
anyway. It's so crazy when Beneath the Trees was out, we had a ton of it. And I was telling people at the shop, I was like, listen, man, you got to read this. It's really good. If you're looking for a good story, nobody picked it up. I think it was like maybe one girl who kind of reads comic books. She comes in sometimes. She was like, oh, like this sounds good, you know? And she bought it because she doesn't really care about speculation. She doesn't care about any of these stuff that these like leeches are like trying to push. So she just wants to read a good book, and she bought it. And she came back and she was like, yo, that was sick. And then I was like, yeah. And I feel like, you know, a lot of the regulars are just caught into this like, oh, like the hobby has to pay for itself. But if you're not participating in the hobby, then it can't like pay for itself, if that makes any sense. Disclaimer, I do not sell or flip books. So, you know, you got to read your books. Like you have to actually participate in the hobby of reading before you could reap the benefits. And I think a lot of people are like missing the point on that. So that was my rant. I'm over.
Yeah. No, it's a common conception. That's why we do the list, man. Or
because there's been like so many, or what was it? I just finished reading because I've got like a stack of books sitting over there that I still haven't like read yet. So before the show, I was like, oh, I should flip through a couple of these and read them. And I pulled out Spider-Man India 1 and 2. I was like, oh, I forgot Ed got these because somebody said they were interested in that character at one point. Figured I'd check them out. I like read both of them and I was like, eh.
Like, yeah.
I'm like, it didn't like nothing drew me in to make me be like, oh, you know what? I really want to read book 3.
yeah. And that's okay. I mean, like, you know, like $8 out the window, like shit, it sucks, but it's better than smoking a pack of cigarettes.
It's like, I mean, but I tried it. I actually read it.
Where $8 a pack of cigarettes? Sorry, like where is that?
Maybe like 10 now. I don't know. I haven't
bought cigarettes in a while, but it was about
it's nearly
10 bucks
$20.
a pack.
It's nearly $20 in New York City.
God damn.
Oh damn. Anyway, moving on to that book. Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi 2, the variant. This just came out. I don't know why I put this on the list, but I think this is actually like the first time in a while where I saw an FOC book and I was like, I have to have this book. I'll pay $50 for it. I didn't pay $50 for it, but I'm definitely on the lookout for this book because it's I don't give a shit what's in the story. I'm sorry, but man, that's like a really cool book, man. I really need to have this cover just as a quote unquote semi Star Wars fan. Raw sale for $25. I didn't find any 9.8 sales on this yet, but yeah, man, I really want this cover, man. You know, it's sometimes as a comic collector, you know, I read obviously like a lot of books, but man, this is just like, I just want this displayed on my wall and I'm willing to pay like $30 to $35 for it.
Is he in the fucking Darth Vader shaped nap the bath or whatever?
I know that actually like exists like in a real like that'd be freaking hilarious. But anyway, Spawn #1, the Newsy issue. So I remember seeing this go. I think it was on Elite Comics. They were selling one in a 9.8, not signed Newsy. Like I want to say 6 or 8 months ago, maybe in August, for like 800, and people jumped on it like big time. And I thought that was pretty highly. I thought that was a lot, but this recent sale, November 20th, went for 1,300. That's crazy, man. I mean, to me, there was a coupon included, so like I guess that's discretion, you know, at your leisure or whatever. But yeah, Spawn Newsy #1 went for 9.8. What do you guys, Fedora? What do you think about this? I know you hate newsstands, but what do you think about this, man? The market doesn't. The market likes newsstands, man.
Biases aside for what I like, my opinion out the window on my personal opinion on newsstand. Like it makes sense because how many of these things were like printed in like the millions, right? So yeah, I mean that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know how many newsstands exist in the wild, but
yeah.
That makes sense.
In a 9.8, man, I was just like, wow, that's a lot of dough, you know. But that, I mean, this is his baby, you know.
I would imagine that would be the original price of Spawn if it wasn't printed to fucking oblivion.
Sure. Yeah.
So it make it like the newsstand is like a what if world, and like like what if Spawn wasn't printed to oblivion? That would be the price. So. But
that's actually a good point. I like that take, man. Actually, I like that take for sure.
You could own the multiverse copy or the Earth 2 copy, or you could own the Prime Earth copy. I own like 3 of the Prime Earth copies. It's just I think it's like a sick book to have for anybody. Like anybody, I feel like if you're starting to collect comics and you want to get into the hobby, like you should own like every person that's interested in getting graded books. Yeah, that should be the first book that they buy. You know, so then if you want to be a big boy,
get the news.
Yeah, get the newsstand. Yeah. So, But
I mean, I agree with you in some cases. Like newsies don't really like speak to me. Where I'm like, if I had a direct edition versus a newsie, it would just basically because I loved, like, it brought me back to that time when I was a kid and bought it at 7-Eleven. But other than that, it doesn't really do a lot for me as a collector. But I get how the market prices it. Jason, I know you're a big Spawn fan. Would you rather have this in 9.8, not necessarily newsy, but just direct edition, or the gun cover of Spawn? You know
what, the 175?
You're
talking about the yellow cover with the
yeah.
What year did Gunslinger come out?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Michael Baker gonna come out like any second now.
Michael Baker's the dude. I don't know when he came.
Probably like early 2000s. Like what, 2008, 2007?
When did they stop making newsstands?
2020. What?
Oh, there's no way he came out in 2023. Maybe just the Gunslinger series.
Oh. 2002.
He came out in 2002? So the newsstand of that must go crazy.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point, man. I don't know if there is. I don't. There had to be one, correct? Yeah.
A newsstand of the 175?
Yeah.
Or 174? I've never seen one, if there is.
I know, chat. You guys know.
Like, thinking off the top of my head, because I've looked at those one. Well, you see a lot of 174s when you look up 175 because for some reason people sell them like together as a package. I can't ever find one without the other. You can find 174s all day by themselves, but for some reason that yellow cover is always attached to something.
2002 Spawn 119 cameo. Cool. It was a camel. Okay, or cameo. It's camel toe. Real quick. Yeah, that I just thought that was pretty cool. Oh, Raws are going for like $20, which I thought was like, oh, that's cool. Like if you want that newsstand and don't have $1,300 to pony up for 9.8, $20 ain't a bad idea either. I have the direct edition signed by the Todd Father in 9.8 behind me. And I'm not a big Spawn fan, but I'm a comic book fan. So just think about right. And I read the shit out of that book back in the day too. Anyway,
I think I read Spawn 8. I think is my my most read Spawn book.
Oh,
like that was like carried in my back pocket, like everywhere I went type book.
I love it.
I don't even know why. It was like I just dug that book for some reason.
Yeah, there's dumb books like that for me too, and like I can read over and over again. And yeah.
Well, yeah. I found some of the old books that I had when I was a kid, and I was like, there's like stupid stuff in there, like that NFL Super Pro, I think it was called, or something like that. Do you remember that?
yeah, dude.
Where he was like the friggin' football clad uniform, like superhero that had like I think Spider-Man cameoed in one of his books at one point.
Oh, that's awesome.
But he only had like, it was only like an 8-book run or something that he had. But for some reason I read the shit out of those, even though they were so stupid.
I have an old Gru comic book from back in the day that I remember, but I can't remember what issue it is. Anyway, Batman 635, first appearance of the Red Hood, Red Death, whatever you want to call him. These were like going for like 500 during the pandemic. I saw a couple cool down like 2.25 in 9.8. But this is I think 300 to 325. That's a pretty good like floor or mid price. It's holding value. I think Red Hood doesn't really have a lot of DC spec instituted in it, but man, he's in video games like Gotham. What's that? Gotham Knights game, right?
Gotham
Jason?
Knights.
He's in Gotham Knights. I think he's a beloved character because he's such a badass. And I've been on the hunt for this book just to get it. So again, if you're trying to find, if you're trying to again bargain hunt for this book, man, you may have missed your window because it has not gone below 3.25.
It's so funny.
It has some potential as well.
A homie of mine was trying to sell one for like 250, 9.8, and then I was trying to sell it on like the a homie of mine was trying to sell one, and he was looking for like people to buy it. So I was like asking if anybody's interested. Hit this guy up, and everybody kept on like backing out.
Sure.
Like not really like they're like, oh, I don't know, man, 250 is a little too high. And then he's like, what the hell? You want me to give this book to you for free? Like what?
Yeah.
Like, so, and then I think it's like shot back up to 350. And then when it was like going up a little bit, like the same person that backed out was like, yo, does he still have it? And I'm like, bro, like, and then my homie was like, nah, like I'm just going to hold on to it. Like, I'm not really.
Yeah. So. And that's the thing too. Like if you can offer that seems pretty like close to these numbers and you're really in I would give $300 for that book. Like you got in this market, I think you got to take it because if you come back a week or two later and ask that question, like Fedora just put out there, people are going to be like, you know what? I wonder why he's coming back to me. I wonder why that potential buyer that I hit up 2 weeks ago is like, I'll give you that price, because they're gonna try and upsell you. I mean, that's just negotiations, right? And they don't want to get, and at that price point, they're not going to want to go lower in these key books. Maybe they're going to want to go lower and say like, I don't know, like My Little Pony number 14, 1 in 10. But these are key books, man. That's just FOC bullshit. Anyway, moving on to the next one. I got a couple here. Metal Gear Solid number 1 in 9.8. This is this is a graham cracker variant. I just picked this one because I just thought it was the coolest one to use. These are 9.8 sales here. These lower to, I think, were one-offs. These were like August and September, but yeah, 330 for the high. I know there's a lot of like goings on about, Metal Gear Solid movie, with the cast attached to it already. I don't know, but I feel like if there's a video game that comes out that could push more focus into the property itself, and then this is just a beloved video game by like fans in general anyway.
Well, I think because I'm gonna probably buy it here soon, so maybe we'll have to start like streaming playing old Metal Gear, but that new collection of them that they just came back out with to start the whole Metal Gear Solid collection, I think it'll get people who didn't get to play that, or like even kids nowadays, if you have that crossover of kids where they read comic books and play video games, it might help with the value of that as well, because you'll have a whole new generation be like discovering how good this game actually was for its time.
Dude, yeah. My favorite. Oh, actually, Fedora, I want to ask you this real quick. So I think like, and I'm kind of going towards video game collecting, but it has to do with kind of this, right? The Metal Gear 1 and 2 on Nintendo and PS2 are like kind of out of reach as far as price are concerned. You're paying $300 CIB for that. I think, so I was looking at kind of later releases of Metal Gear. The PS3 version of Metal Gear, I think it's like Metal Gear 4 or 5, where he's like super old. I found a copy of that sealed in pretty good condition for like $50. Do you think that's a good buy?
Just to put it in perspective, I have a tattoo of the. It's faded out because I used to work at a restaurant, but I played like every game by Kojima, like everything. I mean, I guess, right? But I think that if we're going based off of nostalgia, that's not. I mean, I guess it's good, like, right? Any game. Any Metal Gear Solid game that you could get sealed is good, but I feel like, based off the nostalgia factor, it's always going to be like the one that came out for PlayStation 1 is always going to be like the big one, and maybe Snake Eater, because I know that was like a really huge one.
Snake Eater is like, yeah, everyone loves Snake Eater. I love but anyway, yeah, I think that's interesting.
But and then a lot of people were complaining about like the remake that Pickles was talking about. A lot of people really didn't like it because they just didn't really do anything to it. They just put it up, and they didn't really like update the controls to like modernize it to make it play better. They didn't really do like quality of life changes, so that got a lot of people really upset. And the Metal Gear's franchise is in a weird position right now because Konami wants to continue it without Kojima, so the fans are kind of like, I don't know, I don't.
It'd be like, to put in perspective for the peeps, it'd be like George Lucas. Well, that's a bad analogy. I'll use it anyway. It'd be like George Lucas not directing the most 3 recent Star Wars, right? It's basically Kojima's like the director.
But look what happened. Right? Not many people liked the last 3 Star Wars movies that came out when Disney took over.
Yeah.
So
yeah. They were safe. They were safe. The storyline's so good in Metal Gear, right? And then like it's like, what would you do? Like, would you do like I don't know. He's so old in the PS3 version that I can't remember if he dies or not in that. Do you remember, Jason, if he dies? Spoiler alert. Does he die?
I don't remember. I can't remember when they switched over.
No, he retires. He gets old, and he retires.
He's so fucking old in the last one, but I mean,
he retires.
There's no video game announcements coming out for another one, probably because of what Fedora just said. But I mean, I fucking love the shit out of the game. I would say if it wasn't for Final Fantasy, this would probably be my favorite game of all time.
Sure. I do think like I mean, I don't know, right? Because like if you're paying, like, the thing about paying for books that are 9.8s that are kind of like they're like sleepers.
So again, we're like not really investing. We're just saying like these are the bottoms of these books.
Oh, it's the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying like these are like, okay, like the bottom was at like this point, but now it seems like it's like not like going to be like, oh, buy it now and then sell for 500. It's just like if you're trying to get this at a smaller price, like this is where it's holding.
Oh, this is the
yeah, because you know we don't recommend buying books and selling them for like
no,
we would never do that. Yeah.
Disclaimer: I do not flip or sell books.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think 350 is a little too high for like a series that's kind of like in a weird place, right? Because you don't know, right? You spend the 350, Snake Eater comes out, the remake, and it bombs, or you know the future installments, people don't like it, so then that 350 goes down to like, I don't know. So
that's your point.
Yeah, so it really, like, if anybody wants to purchase this book, I would wait until like we see what Konami's gonna do with the series, because it just seems like they're kind of like they're trying to like cash in on it and not really care about it. Because if I were Konami, I would just go all the way back to like the Nintendo days and remake that game and just reboot the entire franchise and work your way back up.
But I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, because there's the few Nintendo games that are kind of canon but not really, that have like a lot of lore and world building and new characters and characters we never even heard of, that you could make a whole new game out of that, versus remaking, like just doing like a weird remake of Part 3.
Sure.
That's just when you have Portable Ops and then Peace Walker that comes before that. So why not you remake Portable Ops first? It's weird. I don't know. It just seems like a cash grab to me, especially without having Hideo Kojima in it. It's a little weird. I don't know. So me personally, I would stay away from it until Konami figures out what they're going to do with Metal Gear for like a long-term. Like they need a long-term plan for me to go. $300 is great to spend. Anyways, I'm muting my mic now.
Stupid. No, man, it's a good take, man. You know, there's anyway. I don't know what I was gonna say. I got a brain fart. I think I like the Sonic book though. I'm sure Fedora's gonna have a lot to say about this book, but Jason, Sonic the Hedgehog number 98, first appearance.
Knuckles.
There you go. Yay! I didn't know. I forgot. I totally forgot. That's why I asked you. I wasn't trying to quiz you. I totally forgot. But dude, $760 and 9.8 for this book. And this is what's crazier.
Is it a low print run? Is that why it's so?
I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog. Who's buying Sonic the Hedgehog books, right? And then it's 98, so like low, right? Way down. So I think it's a pretty low print run. I want to say Doc Joe has a copy of this, and he has like 17 or something like that. But this is what I thought was really crazy about this, and this is why I'm saying like there's kind of a bottom in these key books, right? $225 for an 8.0. And that was multiple bids for that book. I don't know if it was like a newsstand or like I didn't have time to really look into it, but like that's a lot of money for an 8.0 regardless, especially in this market. Cause like you got to think like, okay, if a 9.8 goes for 760, a 9.6 would go for like 350, right? It's going to have in value because 9.8 subs. But 225 for an 8.0 like really like hit me hard. I think the cover is pretty cool. Knuckles is not on the cover, am I right? I mean, I can't even tell.
I kind of thought that was the first appearance of Shadow, but I might be wrong. Because now I'm a little confused. Now I'm a little bit confused.
Could be.
Yeah, let's double check. Let's double check. Just to make sure.
Let's double check. Shadow, you're right, dude. You're right. You're
my fault. No, it's all good. It's all good. We can't have two mistakes.
Yeah. Oh shit, man. We're gonna lose subscribers. But yeah, man, I just thought this was like really cool data to put out to the community here today. But yeah, if you're in the hunt for a low grade of this Shadow book.
Question: Does this have a newsstand?
See, that was what I was wondering. I'm not sure. I don't think
this definitely has a newsstand. It came out in like the early 2000s, right?
But like it's Archie Comics, right? So did they put out like a huge amount of newsstands out? Like, do they do newsstands? Like
they're New York City. They're New York City based. So, and Archie was a newsstand book, like a little booklet that you would.
I guess you're right.
Like, yeah. So, I think the real question is like, is there a newsstand, and how much would that be in 9.8? Because I would imagine that like they might have printed like next to near like not that many newsstands.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah.
But my logic behind it is that I would imagine that there is newsstands out there because you know, kids coming from school, going to the bodegas.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sonic was like a huge game around my time when I was a kid. I mean, Sonic Adventure 2 for like Sega Dreamcast and GameCube, that was like the hugest Sonic game.
Sure.
Of that decade. So I would imagine whoever's ordering, you know, at the time would order those Sonic comics. But I think if you could find a 9.8 newsstand, that price would probably be astronomical.
There you go, Spidey Guy Murph. Thanks for the knowledge. It has a newsstand. It's the last of the Archie run of Sonic low print run, being final issue even lower for the newsie. Holy shit, that's your true ghost. If you're the Sonic. Hold on, I want to see some real quick. Sorry, guys.
See, now he's like, I gotta find this newsstand.
Oh.
No, I'm curious if that 8.0 is a newsstand. Let's see.
Because I've got like 8.0s in like popular books that you can't even like get rid of.
I know, seriously. So that it's not a newsstand, that 8.0. But I'm gonna do a little search for a newsstand. Hold on. Okay. There you go. There are newsstands out there. Look at this.
Shit.
$800 for a raw?
Yeah. For a raw dog? Sorry. So that doesn't look like it's a newsstand, but here, no, that's the first. They don't say it's newsstand or not. Huh. Yeah, these are just, they're not indicating. Okay, here you go. Sonic the Hedgehog, first appearance, Shadow, newsstand, 2001, $200.
Yeah, you can tell the slight difference in the barcode where it's a little bit fatter.
What's the condition on that? What's the condition on that though?
Oh, he's making me work.
No, I want listen.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay,
so
okay,
look at that. It's not nice.
Bruh. So is that like you would say it's a good, very good?
I think it's like very like okay good. Look at that. It's ripped.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. That's like they charging Silver Age prices.
Dude, I mean, I kind of get it, but like a ripped comic book, I wouldn't pay triple digits for one, man. Just
like unless it's just a great read and you're trying to fucking check out the story
unless you're stupid, unless you got stupid money and just like want to say like I got this ripped version of, unless it was like ripped by like Sonic the Hedgehog himself.
Yo, some dude is on a fucking scooter, like on the sidewalk, bro.
Oh shit. New York City, man.
No, he's wilding.
He's wilding.
There's like families walking their dogs and shit here.
Next couple books we got here. You guys were talking about G.I. Joe 21, the silent issue. You guys must have read Meeting My Mind because I have it up here on the list. This has always been a book that either in second, third, 15th print, I've always wanted this book. I did have it in like a 7.0 newsstand a while back, and that was during a fun time. But
somebody said that in the chat, and I was really confused. I was like, "What is that?"
It's the silent issues. It's the first appearance of Storm Shadow, but
there's no words in it.
There's no words in it because it's from Snake Eyes' perspective.
Oh,
so the whole thing is just art panel.
Yeah, man. It's fucking. I mean, the cover's sick. The concept of the comic book itself is sick, and the first appearance. I mean, it's a triple threat, right? Jason, have you ever had this book before?
No, because every time I see it, it's freaking expensive.
Would you pay $40
like in a decent grade? Huh?
Would you pay $40 in very fine grade, like a 7.0, 8.0?
Maybe.
And just hold it. Like you don't have to grade it. You could just hold it, right?
Yeah.
Would
At
you
that point, I'd probably be buying it for the art, just to like check it out too, because it's. I mean, it's a really cool.
You never
book.
read it? Have you ever read it before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like when I was a kid.
Yeah. Cool to have this and have like Ray Park sign it. Right?
Yeah. He was at the SummerCon last year.
Yeah, I had a book for him to sign and the Emperor, but I was like, I don't want to wait in line. I hate lines. So Fedora, you don't know? Have you seen this book at Midtown before?
No, I don't even know. I don't even know. I probably the cover looks familiar to me. It looks vaguely familiar, but I don't. I've never seen it before.
And Michael Baker puts out a good point. G.I. Joe is about to pop off again because this is good. If the series is good, then all the older G.I. Joe books definitely will. That's an easy kind of call, right? That they'll probably pop off.
They're getting a game.
Are they getting a game too? That's cool.
Yeah, it's like a beat 'em up in the style of the Ninja Turtles game that just came out recently.
Oh hell yeah. So I love it.
It's gonna be for the Switch. So
cool.
It seems like G.I. Joe is getting a small resurgence. So I guess if you got the money to pay for that silent edition, might be good.
And the third and second prints aren't bad or a bad call in 9.6 or 9.8. It's expensive though. Someone shelled out $1,200 for this, and I haven't seen it go under 1,000 in 9.8. I'd probably actually rather have this than like a Strange Academy Opania. I'd rather go for this because it speaks so much more nostalgia and just what I said earlier with the silent issue and first appearance of Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes on the cover. It's a perfect cover, honestly. And then one that I've always been on the hunt for, Turtles #4, the second print. Jason, what does this cover remind you of?
What does it remind me of?
Mm-hmm. Like, what is it? What do you, when you see the cover and not think about comic books, what does it remind you of?
Almost, well, it kind of depends. It borders on like Star Wars or Final Fantasy.
It reminds me of how fucking annoying that first Nintendo game I bought when I was a kid.
The cover.
I was gonna say that it looks like the Nintendo cover.
Yeah, it's the Nintendo cover, which is why I think, if the #1, I mean, you can get a 5th print, 4th print, and that's cool. But I honestly would rather have this because it reminds me of how fucking pissed off I saved all my money for this damn game, and I couldn't get to the damn sewer. Couldn't figure out the down button or go up or sideways to go down the damn sewer. That game freaking sucked.
You're just mad because you kept getting killed by the seaweed.
I was pissed off because I kept getting killed by those little robot guys or whatever it was. But man, this game
that seaweed used to piss me off. Like I'd be friggin' swim through. I'm like, where am I ever gonna find electrified seaweed? I'm like, this is stupid. I'm like, fucking hate you, game.
I know. And that was like back in the day. Like if you threw your controller, it's connected to the system. So as your controller goes, so does the system.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, everything. And it was square, right? So if you hit someone in the head, it hurt really bad. Fedora, you probably never played, like, what was the first, or I guess have you ever played a Nintendo or a Turtles game? What was the first one you played?
No, I mean, I had it, but I never played it. I had like an old NES with like a crazy amount of games that was passed down to me. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of those things are worth like tons of money. And I know there's some NES games that I own that are like Ghost.
Yeah.
But I've never played it. I tried to play like Total Recall once, and I was like, what the hell? Shit.
That's cool.
Yeah. But the first one I played was Hyperstone Heist for Sega Genesis, and then Turtles in Time. So those
Turtles
were like
in Time, yes.
Yeah. So those were the first two that I grew up playing. So like I didn't suffer like the rest of you guys did.
That's right.
Remember that game had like so many stupid little like tricks you could do that just took forever though. Like there was that one boss where if you got over to the wall and got up on top of it, you could switch to Donatello and just sit there and staff down with your thing or with your staff and just hit down. That guy would just keep jumping into the wall.
No, but I think we need to like buy this game and like figure and beat it together.
What, you mean take it out back and Office Space it?
I'm good.
That's cool too.
Unless we're using ROM hacks and emulators, I'm good.
There you go. Before we get to the last slide of the night, or the morning, I want to thank everyone. 14 live on a Sunday football going on. I know everyone's itching to get back to their football games, but I do appreciate everyone coming through. Click that like, click that subscribe, tell your peeps. We didn't hit the 25 today for the big giveaway. However, I will give away some comic books just as a random stack of stuff that I like to read to get people to keep reading books. I'll even throw a Spider-Boy one or our first appearance of Spider-Boy in there, like just for fun.
I've got here's the last Spider-Man one. Indias over there that I just finished reading that somebody can have if they want.
Yeah, there you
if
go.
They're interested in reading, if they're into that.
So on our Thursday show, every 2 Thursdays, and by the way, me and Fedora are going to do a show. Jason, you're more than welcome to join unless I think you have to work. We're going to try and do a show either tomorrow or Wednesday, perhaps, in regards to some Pokemon stuff. He put together a really good Pokemon report. So we're just I'll try and pitch that out later this week. And so we get a good time for everyone to watch and have him do his thing, man, because this Pokemon stuff's very interesting to me, and I don't know as much about it as Mr. Fedora does, but we'll get into that. I'll put details out later on my Instagram, but I'm getting into these.
As long as I'm not physically on or around any of the planes, I can pop in and out.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
just anything else to get me fired.
Anything about Pokemon myself, but I follow a lot of it, and I see I collect it. I see what's going on. It's like a lot of weird stuff. Everybody's been glazing Japanese cards, and I'm like, dude, these were like worth nothing. Like
it's real. It's good info though. It's really good info, man. I learned a lot from his posts and from his shows as well. So I just want to get that out more to the community and hit that kind of subscriber base. But yeah, on our our Ronin 5 show, I've been talking a lot about Best Buy exclusives. Now, the ones that are coming out, in the next couple months before the holidays. So Best Buy is going to stop selling DVDs, and they're going to stop obviously doing exclusives. So I looked at these 3, just kind of like fun, perhaps like flippable, quote unquote, investable properties. First, there's our exclusive Star Wars. This is going for like $200. I think you can get this sealed for like $150 now, but it's every single movie, like all 9 in 4K for like $150. I think just as like kind of a collector, like I want this sealed. And then one of Jason's favorite movies, National Lampoon's Vacation in 4K. Best Buy exclusive, Jason. Christmas is coming soon, man. If you want to put this on your list, I'll send to Santa for you.
I like have you seen that video that like it might be old, it might be new, I'm not sure, but it's like this kid and it's just like the caption of the video is like, I told my son that I accidentally sent Santa the shopping list instead of your Christmas list, and they basically wrapped like cans of soup and like stuff like that. Is like literally a grocery list, and this kid was so pissed that he the whole time.
That's awesome. I love it.
I was just like, man, I was like, if I had like nieces or nephews or fucking kids of my own, I was like, I would totally do that. Be like, sorry, man, I accidentally sent you.
I saw a video on something similar where like a kid was like behaving bad in school and misbehaving, and he didn't get good grades. So for Christmas one day, like when he unwrapped it, it was a PlayStation 5, and they were like, open it. And then when he opened it, it was a bunch of rocks that came out. And then they were like, that's what you get when you do bad in school. And then he like ran in his room.
Good for him. That's a good parent, man. And then Fedora, I don't know what this spoke to me, but I thought of you with this glass. It just looks cool. And I thought it was kind of cool. It comes with 3 collectible character art cards. It's exclusive Best Buy again. So just kind of in your collectors, kind of realm.
The art looks really good on it.
It looks pretty tight. I think that's why I thought of you on this one. So,
we gotta go to New York City and just hit up all these like Best Buys. Like,
bro, you live in New York City.
And they're like Starbucks.
You can go tomorrow.
They're everywhere.
You can go today. We gotta take a flight.
There's one Best Buy that's open for 24 hours.
I love it. That's crazy. So I'll do a giveaway. It's just gonna be some. like I said, I'll throw our first appearance of Spider-Boy in there, and then perhaps this new Thanos, Return of the Mad Titan #1. I thought it was a really cool book to read. If you want to be part of the giveaway, just type in this hashtag giveaway. I'm not gonna be. We couldn't get to the 25. I'll probably just post that book on eBay and press it. But I do appreciate everyone's support, man, and giving away back to the community. So yeah, let's do the giveaway real quick, and then we'll say sayonara to everybody. If anyone wants it. If no one wants it, I'll just end the show. 10 seconds. 10. Comics Embraced. Got you in there. Comics Embraced. Let's see. Who else? Michael Baker. Good sir. All right. It looks like so far Michael Baker and Comics Embraced are 50% winners or chance of winning. E2 Comic Collector. We got you in there. Thank you so much. And then we're at 412 subscribers, which is really awesome. We are lacking a little bit in. Oh, sweet, thanks, Brad. We are lacking a little bit in hours, so I always try and watch content providers like old videos just to keep up on topics and like stuff I forget. If you guys could just comment on our old videos and just watch them for us, I'll pick someone from that randomly, and I'll send them a slab in the next 10 days, just to kind of help out with hours that we need to get monetized and all that stuff. We're like, por favor. Oh, muchas gracias. Okay, cool. All right, we got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 in the giveaway. We have about 10 more seconds to have anyone else, and I'm just going to send some good reads in this one because we want people to read. Joshua Davis, what's going on, man? Joshua Davis. All right, we're gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna do this for the giveaway. Everyone, again, thanks again for watching. Click that like, subscribe, tell your friends, watch the shows, and we'll do better giveaways once we get that 500 subscriber mark. Let's do this.
I thought that new Punisher book was pretty good.
Dude, the new Punisher book is really, it was cool.
Yeah. People complaining online about it.
Comics Embraced. You are the wiener.
I hope you embrace these comics.
And Michael Baker, man. I appreciate you, man. I would definitely be up for that. And for the 500 subs goal, we'll do something cool. Hopefully we'll get 500 subs in the next month or two. Trying to put out more random Pokemon stuff. And then, like I said, if you aren't watching our show, or real quick, before I let everyone go,
I thought I had a freaking stack of books that I was gonna set aside for giving away too, slabs that I went through all my shit. And we can pull these.
Yeah, whatever, man. Just let me know.
I just remember where I put it. It's somewhere down here though.
Cool. We had the Ronin 5 show every Thursday or every other Thursday. We may do one this week before Thanksgiving. So come out if you're not into comic books. Or if you're into comics, we do talk about comics. We talk about magazines, Blu-rays, sports, video games specifically. Myself, Vinny, Marcus, 78 points in his action figures, and Ralph.
Oh,
every so often it comes through.
Before I forget, big shout outs to a viewer and friend of the show. He messaged me because remember we were talking about Null, and then the third print, and he was like, "Hey man, I heard you didn't get a chance to get any of the new Nulls that when they first released. I have a few copies of them, and I'll gift you one."
Oh snap!
Yeah,
Who was
and
it?
I was his name is Henry. He's just one of those guys that kind of ghost watches.
Oh, cool.
And, he messages me after the show and we kind of chop it up. And he's like, "Listen, man, I have a copy. You could have it. It's a third print. And if you missed it, I want to gift it to you because I like the content you put out. I appreciate what you're doing. So I appreciate you, bro.
Hey, have him message me. I'll send him some stuff.
Yeah, I will. I'll send him over. He's a good guy.
Well, Henry, if you're in the chat, man, thanks for supporting us and for being a great contributor to the community, man. And then our man, the myth of legend, Fedora and I will, we do Pokemon shows like every so often, but we're gonna try and do one this week, and he's gonna cook for us and tell us what we should be looking out for, trying to save some money and all that good stuff and whatever. But yeah, Comics Embrace, hit me up on Instagram, give me your email or your info so I can send you those books. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Fedora. Appreciate you guys. Y'all have a great weekend. Click that like. Appreciate everyone's support. And we'll see you.
Disclaimer: I do not sell or flip books.
Disclaimer: he does not sell or flip books. But we'll see you guys next week.